Hi, Jane.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, it's John.
Oh, John, hi. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I've got Adam here, but he can't get the thing to work either. Here.
Just set it right there. Here, the microphone's on.
Oh.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
It turns out her computer, I guess it doesn't work on Internet Explorer.
What, Zoom?
No, Zoom. It won't work on Internet Explorer.
Oh, you might have to download a, there might be an add-on you have to try.
Yeah, it won't do it for Internet Explorer. It wants Chrome. But her computer will not allow me to download Chrome unless I take it out of safe mode. And in order to do that, I got to download the operating system again.
Zoom should work. Let me see. Zoom should work on Windows Explorer or Internet Explorer. Let me take a look here.
Okay, so this meeting is active right now, right?
Oh, so we're the only two here right now.
Okay, give me 1 second here, because I'm gonna try to. Okay, so it gives me the option.
Okay.
If you cannot download or run the application, join from your browser. So I'll click that, and it asks me for her name, so I put that in there. I am not a robot.
I paused that there. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Mr. Kelly's present, Mr. Ofer's present, Mr. Smith is present, Mr. Voda is present, Mrs. Jane Blaine Kern is present, Solicitor Exides is present, I myself, John Snelson is present, and Greg Butler is present, along with the applicants.
We have 2 minutes to approve.
I make a motion, we approve 2 regular meeting minutes, one from February 26, 2020, and the other from the regular meeting of March 27, 2019.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
We have first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hold on, someone is, bear with me here, someone is joining. Hello, who just joined us from 724-309-927 or 2705?
This is Tiffany and Roy. We're having trouble with the volume.
Oh, okay.
So we're good now.
Yeah, my volume's a little low too, but I can still hear it.
Okay, Rob, you want to swear in the first applicant? First applicant.
Sure.
Who is the first applicant? First applicant is ZHB 20-05 at 302 Howell Street, Uh, Property owner is Chris. Are they there?
Travis, Rob,
Yeah, are we ready to swear them in? All right, Chris, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great.
Chris, I usually do that, but you did a fine job. That's fine.
Okay, do you want to explain what you're interested in?
We want to put a fence, what we consider to be our backyard, but because we're a corner lot, it's considered partial front yard. We want to put a fence up so that our kids have a safe place to play, so that they don't run out in the street.
The property at 302 House Street is a corner lot. It is located at the corner of House Street and Dennis Street, and would have two front yards. He's requesting that a dimensional variance to build a fence within the front yard along Dennis Street.
And this has been posted, John.
Yes.
Have you had any reaction to the posting?
No.
What size, what kind of fence are we talking about here?
Chain link,
How high?
4 feet tall.
4 feet, chain link, open all the way, no.
Yep.
The sketch I have, or the survey I have, shows it really on the side of the house and the back of the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, so both Howell Street and Dennis Street are fronts, is that it?
Correct.
Okay.
What do we have on lot 191?
Sorry, Terry?
What's on lot 191? Anything there? Looks like a vacant lot with a print I have.
191. No, there's a house there.
Is there? Okay. And they didn't complain or nothing?
No.
Do they have any kind of a fence on their property at all?
No.
So this will be the divider between the two pieces of property. How far is their house from the line?
Well, actually, this would not divide the two properties. This would only go to the corner of the house and then out towards Dennis Street and then back towards approximately the middle of the side of the house along Dennis Street, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll parallel the line, or the property line, will it not?
Yeah. It'll be 1 foot back from the property line.
Yeah, and parallel the dividing line between you and your neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I don't see anything wrong with it. Anybody else have any comments?
I agree with you there. I don't see any problem with it. I'll make a motion that we grant it.
I'll second.
You have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
Aye. I think we're gonna have to say who is,
How about if I just do a roll call? It'd probably be easier.
Okay.
yeah, because you don't know who's
Yeah, I'll do a roll call. It'll make it easier. Chairman Kelly,
in favor of.
Mr. Voda,
Here, favor.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Ofer,
Aye.
Mrs. Kern. Jane,
Yes.
you're in favor?
I'm in
Okay.
favor, yes.
Okay. Motion passed.
One done.
Your variance has been granted, Chris.
Thank you.
I'll contact you and we'll get the certificate and everything started.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
How old is that little one you got in your lap there, Chris?
She's a year and a half.
Is that the only one, or do you have another one?
That son Elijah's 3 is right here. And this is my littlest one, Amelia.
Wow. You're a lucky guy.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, the second hearing is ZHB 20-06. It's 4859 State Route 51. Location is 475 West Newton Road. The applicant, Joseph, you want to go ahead and tell us what that?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I bought the Warner Welding Building, and I would like to move my business there for offices, welding repair of dumpsters, and to maintain my vehicles and park my vehicles there.
The property is located in an M1 light industrial district. As the applicant stated, it was formerly Warner Welding and has been since at least, I believe, sometime in the 80s. His request is a request for a special exception for comparable uses not specifically listed in the M1 district. His request is kind of a combination of several permitted uses within that district.
Hey, John, same question as the others. This was posted.
Yes.
Okay, any comments from anyone on it?
No.
Okay. I have a question relative. It said owner's name is Hans and Susan Werner.
Yes, that has, since the application was filed and everything was put on hold, by the time of today's hearing, Mr. Ori has acquired the property and is now the legal owner of the property.
Well, that was a weld shop before, right?
Correct.
Yes.
It was Warner Welding.
Hey, Joe,
Yes.
what are you planning on doing to the buildings? Any modifications to the buildings or the property or anything?
We're doing a lot of cleaning up. A lot of cleaning up. We have a lot of dumpsters up there that are loaded with metal and stuff like that right now. So we're painting it on the inside. We're going to paint the outside as soon as we can get in there and get the other stuff done. A lot of painting.
A lot of what, Joe? I'm sorry, you cut off on me there. What'd you say?
That's okay. We have a lot of painting and a lot of stuff to fix doors and everything in there.
Improvements to the property, basically.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's really no alteration or change to the existing building other than, I believe, changing some possible just partition walls with inside for the office.
No concern about parking up there at all, John, from the use that Joe has for the trucks and his equipment?
No, once a lot of the stuff is removed from the yard, there's probably going to be more parking than there probably ever has been up there. Plus, it's a rather large piece of property. Not to mention the size of the buildings. Once cleaned out, I'm not sure how many vehicles you can fit in there, Joe, at one time, but I'm sure it's quite a bit.
Yeah, I could put 6 in the back and 3 up front.
There was actually 2 pieces of property there, wasn't there, Joe?
Not that I'm aware of. I know when I purchased it, it was the 10 acres.
Yeah, okay. 10 acres, good golly, that's a good size. That's a good chunk of property.
What's on either side of the property?
On the left side, adjoining the property is a home. On the right side are 2 vacant lot, then a very narrow vacant lot, then a home.
It looks like at home is well off the property line.
Yes, and the building actually sits up above that. You actually go up the driveway. The building sits up higher, and you can't actually see the closest home. You can't see that from the property itself. And the vehicles entering and leaving probably will not change much from Warner Welding. There would still be trucks going in and out and cars, and that's pretty much will continue to go in and out of the property.
So you don't see a noise question relative to that at all, John, do you?
Compared to what was there, no.
No, that's good.
No, I mean, no operations other than repairing of vehicles will take place there. The vehicles will leave, that's basically their storage. If I'm not incorrect there, Joe, that's basically storage and repair of the vehicles. The vehicles go out to do their daily business and then come back and be maintained.
Correct.
Hey, Joe, what are the hours of operation there that you plan on using?
It varies. I mean, we don't work, it's 5 days a week. We may work we have to work a holiday. If a holiday falls during the week, we do work a Saturday because we're closed on that day. Trucks go out Sunday morning, probably around 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Like 3 trucks, then the rest go out 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning.
Well, John, when you said about the M1 property and that there's basically everything that he's looking at falls into that area.
Permitted use?
Yeah.
Yes, it's when we first looked at this and we're talking with Mr. Ori about the trying to figure how the proposed use would fit in. It's kind of a combination of various permitted uses of like a truck terminal, a vehicle service center, and like 1 or 2 others, but it's kind of a combination of permitted ones, but it's a little bit of each.
How does that truck terminal fit, John? Does that fit a little better than most?
No, that was just kind of like the storage of like parking trucks there. That's where that one came in. And then you had, like truck leasing and repair. So the simplest was to go with a comparable use that's not specifically listed.
Gotcha.
And it is it is an industrial district.
Will Mr. Iori want all those listed uses in the variance? That is offices, truck fleet storage, maintenance, repair, welding?
Yes.
Okay, does that pretty well?
Yeah, that covers everything I do, sir.
Okay. Is the
Truck
welding
will not come back loaded. There's no garbage on the property. Just maintenance on our trucks when they come back.
Don, is welding a permitted use?
The welding shop it would not necessarily welding, but it would be like the fabrication and repair. You know, that's why I said it kind of falls under multiple permitted uses, but not one clearly defined.
I realize it's probably the safest to get a variance, but you probably could have held it to be a combination of permitted uses, couldn't you?
We looked at that and figured, you know, without it being able to specifically hit on one, that would probably be better just go for the use by special exception for a comparable use not otherwise listed,
Mm-hmm.
which is Article 140312. Comparable use is not specifically listed for the M1 industrial district.
If I'm understanding it right, he gets to keep everything that currently goes on there, plus his truck storage.
Correct. His whole operation would be permitted, and it would, you know,
Plus,
however, you know, that's a little bit of this, a little bit of that would all be.
yeah, plus what's already there.
Yes, yes. And there's really, other than an industrial district, there's really nowhere else in the township that this type of use would probably be permitted.
Anybody else have anything?
I'm okay, Keith.
Not me. I know the building, so I can't see anything wrong with that.
No.
Charlie?
It's pretty much what it always was, except for the truck.
I agree, Jane. That's pretty much what I was trying to summarize there. Same as it always was, plus his storage of his trucks in his office.
Right.
There was always an office before, I would assume.
From looking at the aerial view of it, looks like there's a bunch of storage there right now. So.
You know, all around the building too.
What's the thoughts of the board?
I don't see anything wrong with it. This is Larry talking.
Are you making a motion, Larry?
I will.
Okay.
Second.
Jane makes a second.
Motion?
Larry made the motion. Jane seconded.
Okay,
Roll call. I'm going to do a roll call vote.
yeah, do a roll call.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Voda,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Ofer,
Yes.
Mrs. Blake.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, Joe, you're good to go.
All right, well, thank you very much, and I'll be around if anybody needs anything.
Keep room for the tomato plants in the back, Joe.
That's right, you're right there. Gotta have them. Thank you, guys. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Next hearing is ZHB 20-07. Property at 671 Renzi Road. Tricia, you want to go ahead and,
I'm gonna swear.
okay,
Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, as you shall answer to God on the last great day.
I'm sorry, I'm just having to hear any more time.
I was just swearing you in.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
okay, you want to explain what you're going to do?
Yes, I'm actually requesting a dimensional variance to construct an above-ground swimming pool in the rear part of my property. That the pool will sit within the 10 feet rule of my garage and my property line, but within, my boundaries.
John,
Yes. Okay, the variance is required because of the actual, if you look at page 6 in your handout, the survey, you may want to join in here, Greg. The back wall of the garage is actually over the property line. And where the pool's going to sit, it's going to bring it possibly closer to the property line than the 10 feet because that line's at an angle.
Well, going by the, okay. The pool's going to be located where?
It's going to be, if you look at page 4, it's going to sit, they kind of have it marked there. It's going to sit right beside the block garage that sits behind the house off of Renzi Road. Well, to the rear of the house, off to the side, right along where it says abandoned Township Road. It's going to sit right in that area.
What's the size of the pool?
It's a 30-foot round.
And how deep?
It's going to be 52 inches high.
No comments from anybody on it, John?
No, yes. And also, Greg and myself have met Patricia down there and looked at the property, and that's how we determined that a dimensional variance would be needed for the rear property line, and depending upon the exact placement of the pool and everything, that possibly to the sideline as a buffer. She has 12 feet here. I know she has not, you haven't started any work in preparation for this. And it was kind of an area that was kind of, it could go a little bit one way, it could go a little bit of the other way.
I'd also like to add that behind her house, the hill drops off quite dramatically. And then if you're staring at her house, on the left side is a gas line easement, which is pretty big, pretty wide, several hundred feet. So no neighbors, really.
Mm-hmm.
Patricia.
Yes.
Is there still some question as to how close it might come to the side property line?
No, we did it 2 ways when we measured. We went off of our original survey when we purchased the house.
Okay.
So the best case, if we didn't measure into the garage, because that was our concern, like how far does the property line go into the garage, like from the space that we're putting the pool. So the best case is that we'll be 12 feet away from the property line, the opposite, of the garage.
Okay.
And the worst case will be 2 feet inside, the property line. So either way, we're inside the property lines. It's just not within the 10 feet there.
if possible, a variance. You're not going to go past the corner of the corner of the garage, right where you're there. So I would,
Yeah, we're gonna be exactly 8 feet from the garage, only because there's steps that are like right next to the garage, and we want to still be able to have access
yeah.
to those stairs.
But I
come
mean,
down, so
the
we're-
pool will not sit any further than the corner of the garage does at the back property line, correct?
Oh, yeah, there's a good 14 feet between the end of the pool and the end of the property line by the garage. No, it won't go past that plateau of property where that back wall sits.
Okay.
It'll be 14 feet from that back wall.
Will that be at the closest point or the furthest point? Because that line is sloped.
Yeah, like, remember, if you remember correctly, we got rid of some hillside so that we could push it closer to Renzi Road.
Mhm.
And then just basically move the wall back. We haven't done it yet, but that's the plan, is to move the wall back 3
Okay.
to 4 feet, because the wall's not there. It was all knocked over, so it's just the dirt is there.
Okay.
So we're gonna, just make space that way. So once we take out that 3 or 4 feet and rebuild that wall that was taken out by the deer, we will have 14 feet from the end of the pool towards that old, what did you call it, Old Renzi Road?
Or the abandoned
Is that what
township
you're
road.
asking?
It
Yeah,
shows
I'm
on the
sorry,
survey, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I think just to be on the safe side, I may ask the board if they're going to grant a variance to just go ahead and possibly grant if the board would. And we'll see if Greg, who's been involved on this from the very beginning also, a variance of 2 feet from the side and rear property line, just to allow for, any problems encountered with where the wall was located or anything. There's no
Okay.
property behind it, and there's nothing behind it except an abandoned road, and there's nothing to the side of it where the pool is planning on being located except for a natural gas easement.
Not going to interfere with anyone. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, it's just a 2-foot variance, and that should be more than enough. Is that what we're saying?
I'm sorry, that would actually be an 8-foot variance, 2 feet, to come within 2 feet of the property line to the rear and to the side, sorry.
Okay.
What's the feelings of the board?
It's Charlie here. I would recommend that we grant the variance as suggested.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. I'll do a roll call. Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Voda,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Ofer,
Yes,
Ms. Blake.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Patricia, I'll be in touch with you, and then we'll get you the other paperwork to get everything started for you.
Okay, perfect. And so I don't need to stay on the meeting any longer, correct?
No, you can go ahead and go.
Okay, thank you very much for all your time.
Okay, have a good night.
You too, thank you.
Okay, next hearing is ZHB 20-08. Applicants Roy and Tiffany, 620 High Street. You want to go ahead and explain what you need?
Sure,
You said go ahead and explain?
Yes, please.
we wanted to put,
Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
Hold on.
oh, what?
We need to swear them in.
Oh, yes.
Hold on.
Do you swear to tell the
That's
truth,
okay.
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer to God on the last great day?
We do.
How we do?
Is there a problem, Kim?
Yeah, somebody's on the phone and on the laptop, and I'm getting over talking.
Okay, let me mute the laptop here. See if that helps. Can you mute? Tiffany, can you mute? There we go.
Okay.
How's
Okay.
Does
that?
that help?
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we just wanted to put a 4-foot chain link fence in our front yard. It just goes around the front yard. It's 6 feet from the street, 58 foot from the house, and 2 feet from the property line, approximately.
The request is to put an accessory structure, a fence, within a required front yard setback.
Is that the two, is that just 2 sides there?
It'll be 3 sides, so the street and then both our driveway and then between our house and our neighbor's house.
Okay. I guess that was posted, John, though.
Sorry, Terry?
That was posted and everything?
Yes, everything was posted. I've heard no comments. They are basically the last house on High Street right before it turns into Curra Lane. And where they plan on putting the fence, their yard actually sits a little lower than the street. There's the hump that goes up to where the level of High Street is, and the fence will actually sit down below that where the level part of their yard is, correct?
Correct.
And it would not cause any traffic problems, interference, site problems, or anything.
So it's a chain link fence. It's just black vinyl coated, John, huh?
Yes.
And you say it will be 2 feet from the property line?
Approximately, yes.
And High Street dead ends there, it looks like.
It
Yeah,
kind of dead
there's
ends
one
and turns into Curra Lane, which leads to one residence. So the request would actually be for a 33-foot dimensional variance for the fence to sit in the front yard.
The back, yeah, okay, John, I'm with you then. The back part of it is acceptable without a variance. The back
Correct.
part-
It's all going to be erected in the within the front yard, and the furthest it would go would be 33 feet out from the house, or 33 feet into the required front yard setback.
Gotcha.
Anybody else have any questions on it?
I don't see anything wrong. I think we could make a motion and grant that.
Okay.
Jerry, you gonna make that motion?
Yes, I do.
Second it?
James seconds it?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call vote. Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Voda,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Ofer,
Yes.
Mrs. Blake.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you very much. We're feeding the dogs treats, so they'll be quiet while we do this.
Just part of the family, that's all.
Yeah. Everybody have a good night. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll get in touch with you and we'll get everything else set up for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye now.
Nine.
Okay, the next hearing is ZHB 20-09. Applicant's John. The location is 5733 Mead Street, Boston, PA.
Wanna-
Bob, you want to swear him in?
Yeah, I will. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer to God on the last great day?
Yes, I do.
You want to build a 12 by 16 storage shed?
Yes, sir. In the rear yard, to stay in line with the house, I need to be about 4 feet off of the existing chain link fence, which is on the property line. That's on the Dollar General side of my property. And then off the rear fence line, which is actually inside the property line, it's about 3 feet off of that rear fence line.
There's another fence there, John, on the other side of yours, isn't there?
Correct. That's the new privacy fence that Dollar General installed whenever they constructed that massive retaining wall.
Okay, will your shed be higher than that fence?
Yes, it will.
Do you know much higher, John?
The fence sort of drops a couple of feet. It's a 6-foot fence. The shed's going to be about 12 feet in the center because it's the barn type shed. So
gotcha.
It'll be past that fence. That is the rear side of the Dollar General building. So the sight line where you would see the shed would be probably from the bridge, from the Boston Bridge, but not from really the entrance to Dollar General.
If you would look at the last page in your packet there, it kind of gives you an overview, page 9, of the property. He's asking for it to go behind the pool there, but you'll see the big white roof in the bottom. That's the Dollar General, and that actually sits down below on Smithfield Street.
John, where my question was coming from, his particular piece of property slopes down toward Smithfield Street.
No, his does not.
But the
His
property
is somewhat
the adjoining
level.
property. Yeah, my property is one level. It slopes after my property. It would be the rear of the gas station.
Okay, so you'll still, on your property, it'll still be level.
Correct.
Okay, John, I got you.
I have a question for John. I'm looking at the section 1503. It requires a variance in SC and R districts, but we're in B1, right?
Well, we have the special yard requirements.
I mean, he's a residential use, but
He's a
in
residential
B1.
use, but I think he is actually located in, let me see. Is he in a B1? Yeah, because we had an issue. It doesn't necessarily spell that out, but it's for a residential use, and we don't have, the other ones are larger setbacks.
Okay. Well, so what's required in B1?
Hang on, let me see where I put my, bear with me for a second here.
While you're looking, I'll ask the question. The general side and rear lot lines for that district would apply, wouldn't they? John's still looking, I guess.
John, you're muted.
Sorry, dogs were barking. Yeah.
So John, 1503 special yard requirements says shall apply in all zoning districts.
Say that again?
Thank you.
Well, the shed falls under 1503 in zoning, and the first sentence says the following yard requirements shall apply in all zoning districts.
Oh, okay.
That's shed, garages, swimming pools.
Thank you, Greg. That's what I was trying to pull up. And
Okay, so 1503, the setback stated in number 2 applies in all zoning districts?
correct.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, so that quote isn't really right. It should say in all zoning districts.
Correct.
Okay. And you're 4 feet from the side yard line and 3 feet from the rear yard line.
Correct. The 4 feet from the sideline stays in line with the existing garage, which is 4 feet off of my existing fence. So the shed will then stay in line with the garage. The garage is, part of the house. It's brick as well. So it'll stay right in line.
He would need a 6-foot variance to the side and a 2-foot variance to the rear.
Board have any more questions?
6 foot to the side because it's 4 feet and 2 feet to the rear because it's 5 feet.
It would be 3 to the rear.
Yeah.
So he would need 2. It would need 2 because that would give it the 5.
Okay.
Okay, John,
Gotcha.
just a clarification for me, this is Larry. John is shown as the applicant's name. The landowner is First York?
Correct. That's who's holding the mortgage.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you are the property owner. That's what was
Oh,
confusing.
so we don't have to notify them? Yeah, they're not an owner.
No, he's one of the few applicants that actually puts who holds the mortgage down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he is the owner. We're well aware of that. We've gone through some other issues relating to the Dollar General next to Mr. Jarvis, and he is in fact the property owner there.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. No complaints on this, John, from anyone?
No complaints, and really, unless you're in Mr. Jarvis's backyard or flying overhead, you can't really see Mr. Jarvis's backyard.
That's what I noticed when I drove by. I went down and looked at this. There's a shed also next door. It's the property next door has one. Not that that matters, but in the backyard there, it's pretty hard to see. And this one, if I understand John right, John, you're saying you're going to keep it in line with with your existing garage that's on part of the house.
Correct.
So it'll be behind it. You won't see it.
Correct. And there's a tree line back there. The trees are probably blocking half the shed that are 40 feet tall or so.
And the only
Between
part
myself
about,
and the gas station. So
and when we talked about the height, it's just the peak of the shed, not the whole roof.
correct.
And right on the other side, Larry, you were talking about the other side of that wooden stockade fence.
Yes, sir.
Right on the other side of that fence, you have maybe 3 feet, I believe, before it's a nice drop off, if that.
Yeah, it's about, and that wall is probably 15 feet tall or something like that to the Dollar General building.
Yeah, correct.
I don't have any further questions.
Anybody else?
No.
What is the feeling of the board?
Make a motion, we accept it.
Still need a
I'll
second.
second it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion by Larry, seconded by Terry. I'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Voda,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Ofer,
Yes.
Mrs. Blake.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, John, I'll be in touch with you to get everything else started.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate your time.
Okay.
That should be it. Just seeing if Mr. Verbanik, who joined us, has any comments or anything. Russell?
No, I have no comments.
Okay,
John, I
I
have
make a
a
motion
question
to,
before everybody-
hold on. Rob?
I have a question before everybody leaves.
Yes.
On the first variance, I don't know that we have to, but I didn't get how far off the front yard setback the fence was.
It's 6
How much
foot.
the variance was granted.
Which one is that, Judge?
The first
five.
one. The first one. yeah.
VHB 05.
This one we did.
What's that? Christy Yao, I'm asking about. Oh, 05, yeah.
I
Looks like it.
believe it's going to be, it would be 30.
In other words, a 30-foot variance from the 35 feet.
Correct.
Because she's within 5 feet.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
You on? Charlie
Yeah.
here. One
Yeah.
comment. These folders were a great idea.
Oh, thank you. I figured this way it would kind of make things a little easier. So like I said, you know, if we are referring to one thing, we can say it's this folder, this page.
Worked really well.
Thank you.
yes, it did. I agree with that too.
Made it a lot easier.
Yes, it did.
Okay, I'll probably keep putting everything in future folders if you want to, you know, yeah, I can always arrange for something like that.
Okay.
Good
Sounds
job.
like a plan.
Any plans for next month's meeting?
Not yet. We don't have any applications in for next month yet. That could change. And as far as how we will hold next month's meeting is still to be determined.
How are
Okay,
they
well,
holding the township? How are they holding the commissioners' meetings, John?
We're still doing it online via Zoom. I'm sorry, Jane, did you say something?
I said this worked good for me.
Oh, good.
It worked. A little easier. Don't have everyone staring at you, yelling at you.
Oh, that's true.
John got his
missed that.
finger on the button. He can just,
I missed the companionship there, you know, too far
do
away.
we have a motion to adjourn?
I
No, we
make,
never-
I make a motion.
Okay,
motion we adjourn.
thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay,
Nice
Yeah.
nice seeing everybody.
okay.